In this lesson, we're going to be looking at the division property of exponents. Our objectives: understand how to simplify exponents by expanding, understand how to simplify exponents using division property. Vocabulary: expand, writing exponents out as multiplication. So instead of 3 squared, we write 3 times 3. Instead of x to the 5th, we would write 5x's, all being multiplied. So we're going to start with the basics of using expanding. So here we have 3 to the 5th over 3 to the 3rd. Well, 3 to the 5th can be written as we can write 5 3s. 3 to the 3rd can be written as 3 3s. Well, division and multiplication are opposites of each other, meaning they cancel each other out. So these 3's cancel out, these 3's cancel out, and these cancel out, leaving nothing on the bottom, so it's just a 1 on the bottom, so we don't really need it, and 2 3's on the top, meaning that we have 3 squared. Notice if you see a pattern between 3 to the 5th power and 3 to the 3rd power, giving us 3 squared, which would be 9 in this situation. Okay, let's look at our x. We have x to the 4th, which would be x times x times x times x over x squared, which is x times x. We would cross out these, and we're left with x squared, because there's 2 on top there. Notice if you can see a pattern between x to the 4th, x divided by x squared, giving us x squared. Now we have this longer problem. Now the focus should be on things that can reduce. So on the top we have 8 times x, x, x. And then we have 4 y's, 1, 2, 3, 4, over 2 times 2 times x. So we cross out the things that can reduce. Well, 8 and 2 can reduce. This would become 4. 4 and 2 can reduce. That would become 2. So we're going to have a 2. Then we look at our x's. X, x, x. So we can cancel there. So we're going to be left with 2 x's. And the y's don't cancel, so we're going to be left with y to the 4th power. Okay, so that's using expanding. Now, hopefully you guys have seen a pattern. I'm going to show you the division property and then do a couple practice problems in a quicker version. So the division property basically looks like this. Base to the power of n divided by base to the power of m is the same as base to the power of n minus m. So basically you can take the exponents, subtract them in a division problem, if you have the same base, that is, and you can write it in a much simplified form. So let's look at it here. What we've got is a base of 5. So this equals 5 to the power of 6 minus 4. Because we've got a 6 here and a 4 there, which is 5 squared, otherwise known as 25. When they're numbers, we like to expand them out. So let's look here. Well, 6 and 5 aren't the same base, but we can divide those. So 6 divided by 5, if you get a calculator out, you should get 1.2. So that gives us our decimal. We could leave it a fraction. Now we're going to look at our x's here. So what we want is we want to subtract their exponents. Here we have an 8. This one doesn't have one, meaning it has an exponent of 1. So 8 minus 1 is 7. So we have x to the 7th power. Here we have the y's, and we've got an exponent of 3 and an exponent of 2. 3 minus 2 is 1. If you don't like having an exponent of 1, you can just erase it and not write the exponent. That means an exponent of 1. Alright, if there's any part of this that you didn't understand or you need to rewatch, please pause, rewind, rewatch, and bring any questions to class. Thank you.